Welcome to the BamCam podcast with Jack Burnette and Alison Castellano from Eater Financial Wellness, a financial advisory practice at RFG Advisory. In this podcast, we explore how life and financial well-being are intertwined. We'll look into areas concerning motivation and attitude, financial planning, investing, and much more. Our goal is to empower you with the information and resources you need to help manage your money and strive toward the life you've always wanted. So sit back, relax, and join us on this journey of uncovering your true self and achieving financial independence.
Hello and welcome to the BamCam podcast with your hosts, Jack Burnette and Alison Castellano. And we also have Adrian Castellano today. I am Wendy McConnell. Now, where are you guys? You're not in the normal place that I see you.
You're right. We are not in our podcast studio today. We're actually at Deer Valley Ski Resort in Park City, Utah.
Ooh, taking us on vacation with you?
Yes, that's exactly what we did. Yeah.
Yes, can't wait. Right.
Yeah. So we wanted to do our podcast here today because so much of financial planning involves a lot of not fun work. You know, living within your means, budgeting so that you can pay off those credit cards or pay off those car loans or student loans, whatever those loans are. You know, saving for retirement, it requires a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work. But we believe in living a balanced life. And part of achieving financial wellness is that balance. And all work and no play is no fun at all. And so here we are on our play, doing something that we love with people that we love in a place that we love. And so that's why we're here today.
You know, that is so true, because it is important that you reward yourself a little bit. Part of a balanced life, part of being happy. We've talked a little bit about on our New Year's resolutions that we've wanted to not only have financial wellness, we want to have emotional wellness, we want to have spiritual wellness, physical wellness. And part of that emotional wellness is kind of going and rewarding yourself, checking out, going and doing something on vacation. And that's so important.
Yeah. So we are in a place that we love with people that we love. I'll mention that my whole family is here. My parents are here. My daughter is here. Obviously, my husband is here. And my brother and his fiance are also here. So we are just building some really wonderful memories together as a family and having a really good time, even though we have a baby that is currently teething. Which is not part of the plan, but here we are.
She's actually down for a nap as we speak. And we came in, we skied all morning and we had lunch, and then Laura went down for a nap. So anyway, it's all good. This is something that we have done for many, many years. It's been somewhat of a tradition. Alison, what is your first memory of going on a ski trip?
Oh gosh, I remember when we were really little, probably 4 or 5 years old, going out to Crested Butte, Colorado. We went there for years and years and years and spent Christmas there for years and years and years. And that's where Riggs and I learned how to ski. We were in ski school out there and we just really loved it. We grew up. That was the tradition for Christmas. We would go spend Christmas out there. And for kids from Alabama, a white Christmas is not normal, but we somehow made it pretty normal for our family.
That's true. You know, the story there stems from the fact that you were probably about 4 years old and you ran in on Christmas Eve, ran into the living room and asked me how Santa Claus was going to come if we didn't have snow. And we were living in Birmingham. And it was one of these Christmas Eves that was about 70 degrees, an extremely warm day, but not very winter-like at all. And I thought it was a very legitimate question. And somehow I handled that to your satisfaction. But I remember immediately that was in our living room in our house in Vestavia Hills. And I immediately went back to our bedroom where my wife Barbara was, and I told her that we're going to have a white Christmas next year. And she said, "How do you know?" And I said, "Because we're going to go skiing." And my wife looked at me a little bit like I had two heads, but that's what we did. And we planned for a year to go on a trip to Crested Butte, Colorado. And I don't remember why we picked Crested Butte, but that's what we did. And we planned a trip and we went for Christmas. And Alison, did we take anybody with us on that first trip, a grandparent or anything?
I don't know if we took anyone with us, but I know that there were several trips that Mimi and Papa came out on, and Grandpa and Patsy came out on a couple of trips, and I think Grandmama came out on a few trips. We've often had extended family join us on our trips, which has made it even more memorable and even more fun as we've grown up.
Well, I remember one of those trips, and on Christmas Eve, sitting in a condo in Crested Butte, with snow all around and everything, fire in the fireplace. And you were a very good reader. You read the night before Christmas, and we're sitting around the fireplace and you're reading that, and it must have been a big piece of snow fell off the roof and made this sound up on the roof of the condo. And you looked up like, "Is Santa Claus here?" It really was a very charming, sweet memory that I have of you wondering if that was Santa Claus up on the roof of that condo.
I also remember being in Crested Butte. You know, when we were in like elementary school, we made like reindeer food, which was basically oatmeal and glitter, I think. And you were supposed to spread it out on the grass or on the snow on the ground for the reindeer to eat while Santa was visiting you. And I remember spreading that out on the snow in Crested Butte. And that's one of the things I really remember about those early years. But we made so many amazing memories as a family. And I'm just so grateful that we had that opportunity. It's something that I think Adrian and I both hope to do with our family one day, find that special place and special activity that just brings our family together as our family grows.
Well, that's so true. And of course, Adrian, you grew up in Florida, so I imagine you probably went to the beach or things of that nature.
Yeah, I was going to say, you mentioned temperatures in the 70s in Birmingham. Was probably in the 80s down in Florida where I was at. The only white Christmas we were going to get was if you were at the beach. And so we did spend many Christmases, many holidays at the beach. It's kind of funny. So I knew kind of what I was getting into when I married into the family. I'd never been skiing before in my life. In fact, the first time I saw snow fall, I was in my early 20s. So this was a completely foreign concept for me. When I first came out skiing, I was probably about 5 or 6 years ago. That would be the first time that I skied. And only a handful of times, even to this date, I think probably less than 10 days of being on skis. And so I'm trying to learn. It's a gradual process. I know Alison gets a little frustrated that I go so slow. We were joking yesterday that I maybe topped 1 mile per hour on some parts of the ski slope. I think today
Babe, I love you.
I got up to around 2 or 3 miles an hour perhaps today. So I'm improving.
Yes,
you are improving. I will say, babe, you've been trying to fight gravity a little bit, and that's part of skiing is embracing the gravity to help you get down the hill.
I have never been more sore than I have been the last few days.
You know, one of the things that's kind of interesting is that before Alison met Adrian, she dreamed of getting married here at Deer Valley. But through the years, we gradually moved from going to Colorado to ski to going to Utah to ski. And we just fell in love with Utah. It's a lower altitude, which is a little easier to adjust to because adjusting to high altitude is a real thing. And it's a little easier to get to. Where we are is about a 40-minute drive from the Salt Lake City airport. It's a very easy drive, and it's just, we just discovered that it was a little easier to navigate coming here to Utah to ski. And we fell in love with Deer Valley as a ski resort. And it's just really a nice place, and it's well run and well managed. And Alison, long before she ever even had a serious boyfriend, dreamed of getting married here at Deer Valley. So even Adrian, before you were in the picture, Alison talked about that. And I remember when y'all first started talking seriously about getting married, and it was, Alison, you may want to interject how that conversation went about having a destination wedding.
Yeah, so I think Adrian on his first trip out here knew that this is where I wanted to get married. And we had gone on our own on a little date night into Park City, and we were walking just down Main Street, which is a cute little area. And he said, yeah, we could get married out here. And I just took that and ran with it. He actually had to leave that trip early to return to his TV meteorologist job. And so we put him on a plane, and then we went and met with a wedding planner before I had a ring on my finger. And I had a list of vendors who I was ready to call. And we went through that list of vendors, and it actually was not horrible planning a destination wedding. I thought it was really fun and really enjoyable, and it was funny to tell all of our family from Alabama and Florida, hey, we're going to go be in the snow in Park City for our wedding. Want to come? And people showed up.
When we started planning this, we started saying, well, who would come? Who would invest in a trip to come to a wedding in the mountains of Utah? And we thought maybe 40 members of our two families would be willing to come. And we ended up with over 65. I think it was 67, 68. And even people that weren't family. We had some good, close, dear friends that came, and it turned out to be magical. Alison, do you want to talk a little bit about that day?
Yeah, I can talk about that day. I mean, of course, it's like my favorite day in the whole world. I could relive that day over and over again. But it was a beautiful day, kind of like today, actually. Not a cloud in the sky, just blue sky as far as you can see. It was about 40 degrees. It was March. It was
no wind.
Absolutely lovely. No wind. And, people think that just because you're in the snow, it is cold. And it really is not that cold here on a day like today or on a day like that day was. So I stood out there in my sleeveless wedding dress and did pictures like that, did a whole ceremony like that. It was just absolutely lovely.
We had to be careful not to get sunburned, in fact.
That's true.
Yeah.
And a girl like me can sunburn pretty easily.
Well, it was a special, beautiful day, and we had some, we had great vendors. Deer Valley was great to work with, and we had a lot of family and friends that invested to come, and I think we showed them a very good time when they were here. And it was a wedding not much like any others. It was really quite special, and so we reflect on that fondly quite often.
Yeah.
So as a matter of fact, when I thought about that when your brother Riggs and I stopped for a cup of coffee late this morning at Empire Canyon Lodge.
Did y'all stop at Empire?
We did.
Yeah.
And so I just sat in the very room where the reception was. So anyway, had good memories on that. But the important thing, So, but it is very important that it doesn't matter what people do. But it's important that you have a balance in your life, and that it's, all work and no play is just that. It's all work. And you need to find ways, if you, if you're and your spouse are not on the same page with your goals and objectives, and you're so focused on focusing only on financial things, and you're not investing in some recreational activities and fun things to do, it's going to put a strain on a relationship, and it puts a strain on a family. And so you have to find a place, and it doesn't have to be extravagant. They can even be staycations per se, but where you are taking time to invest in your family and invest in memories and experiences, I think are very good. I think, somebody once told me, and, of course, I'm in a different stage of life, being in my late 60s, even though I'm not retired. My wife is retired. And when she retired, we have traveled quite a bit more after Barbara retired. And you may recall, and I know, Wendy, you recall, I checked in from South Africa on one of our previous podcast episodes.
Yes, the tech worked out, Jack.
We do travel a bit, throughout the year, and I can, technology allows me to be able to take care of clients' needs, and of course, with Alison and Adrian on the team now, that helps as well. But it's an important thing. But we worked hard for many, many years. We did not exclude vacations, but we didn't travel as extensively or as extravagantly as Barbara and I do now. And part of that is because we were disciplined through the years to be able to save so that we can travel. And there's a line that someone once said to me: live like no one else today so you can live like no one else tomorrow. And that really was referring to, living within your means and not overextending yourself, so that you're doing all the right things throughout the course of your life and your career, so that when you are retired or in the retirement stage of life, you can have a nice, fruitful, comfortable life. And that's what Barbara and I have been blessed to do.
And part of that fruitful life in retirement is having the people to enjoy it with. So investing in those experiences and those memories with your family and with your loved ones is so beneficial.
I think so. I think so. And that's what we're trying to do now. And so tell me, Alison, what do you think Laura's impression of the snow is?
She loves going out there in her snow boots and stomping. She is just stomping all around. It's really, really cute. And she's saying, snow, snow.
The very first time we took Laura to the beach, she was not a fan at all. We put her feet and hands in the sand, and she was like, absolutely not. So we're hopeful that now that she's experienced the snow and she's a little older, she's had fun, the next time we take her to the beach, she'll be a little more receptive of the sand.
I hope
and just a little bit more adventurous in general, which
she is so adventurous.
I think in toddlerhood, she's finding her adventurous spirit for sure.
She's not scared of anything. The only thing she's scared of is if you leave the laundry room door open while the washer and dryer are running.
That is true. So all of y'all out there in our podcast world, it's important. Invest in yourself, not just for the long term, but you want to have some intermediate goals. You want to be able to do things and reward yourself for all the hard work you're doing on your budgeting, on your saving for retirement, on your saving for projects, a new house, or that sort of thing. If you're driving a paid off car, what was that line, Alison? It's a
It's
blessing.
not a beater. It's not a beater. It's a blessing.
Correct. Do all those right things, but don't ever forget to reward yourself, reward your family for all the good things you're doing.
All right. That sounds
Exactly.
great, guys. So how long are you going to be out there? Is it the beginning of the vacation, the end of vacation?
It's kind of the middle. We're recording this on a Tuesday, and we got here Saturday and we leave Saturday. So it's a week long trip. So I love to ski. I don't ski as aggressively as I used to because I'm old. Older. But I can still go. I can still get down the slope, and so far today was my third day to ski, and I haven't hit the ground yet. So that's a positive sign.
And it's supposed to snow Friday, so hopefully that will add some excitement to our trip.
We're going to get a little bit of snow late in the week, and but these first 3 days have been absolutely gorgeous. So
perfect.
Yeah. All right. Well, Adrian, good luck. I hope that you improve and gain a little speed. Don't let
Baby steps.
Don't let them, bully you though.
I might make it to 5 miles an hour by the end of the week.
There you go. I mean, you got to have a goal.
He's improving.
All right. So if anybody has any questions about what you guys do, how do we get in touch with you?
Alison?
You can email us at info at eaterfw.com. That's eater, ITER.
Okay, so we're going short today so you can get back to vacation. All right, I love it.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, thank you and enjoy the rest of your ski trip. I wish you a lot of luck and please be safe.
We will.
Right. Thank you. We will.
All right. Well, thank you for listening today. Please like, follow, and share this podcast with your friends and family. Until next time, I'm Wendy McConnell.
Thank you for listening to the BamCam podcast with Jack Burnette and Alison Castellano from Eater Financial Wellness, a financial advisory practice at RFG Advisory. To get in touch with us, visit today's show notes or go to our website at www.eaterfinancialwellness.com. That's ITER financialwellness.com. And please click the follow button to be notified when new episodes become available.
Content here is for illustrative purposes and general information only. It is not legal, tax, or individualized financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any specific security or engage in any specific trading strategy. Information here may be provided in part by third-party sources. These sources are generally deemed to be reliable. However, neither our guests nor RFG Advisory guarantee the accuracy of third-party sources. The views expressed here are those of our guest. They do not necessarily represent those of RFG Advisory, its employees, or its clients. This commentary should not be regarded as a description of advisory services provided by RFG Advisory or performance returns of any client. The views reflected in the commentary are subject to change at any time without notice. Securities offered by registered representatives of Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered by investment advisory representatives of RFG Advisory, LLC, RFG Advisory or RFG, a registered investment advisor. Private Client Services and RFG Advisory are unaffiliated entities. Advisory services are only offered to clients or prospective clients where RFG Advisory and its representatives are properly licensed or exempt from licensure. No advisory services may be rendered by RFG Advisory unless a client agreement is in place. RFG Advisory is an SEC-registered investment advisor. SEC registration does not constitute an endorsement of RFG by the Commission, nor does it indicate that RFG or any associated investment advisory representative has attained a particular level of skill or ability.